Hi, ladies. I wanted to make you a little video because I've been talking to a lot of women when I offered this call after my Man Plan webinar that I hosted last week and then did an encore on Saturday. And what's coming back to me is there's a lot of fear. And so I wanted to make a video and address the fear because it's very real and it's what keeps you from having the things that you want in life. And what I want to draw attention to is it's usually not associated with what you think it's associated with. In other words, what I'm saying is the fears that you feel in dating and relationship are not really related to it's like not believing that there's no good men out there. I mean, those are beliefs, or that it's not going to happen for you, or you're too old. The fear that's behind that, there's something even bigger that's behind it that I want to draw your attention to. And that is the number one fear, is that you make a commitment to pursue, the relationship, to go after what you want. The biggest fear that happens is the fear of rejection and the fear of somebody not approving of you. That's what holds us back the most in life, is that fear of rejection. And so a fear of commitment is really getting into a relationship. You might feel really triggered because you're afraid that down deep, someone's going to get to know you. And what if they don't like you? What if they don't like what they see? And so it's a fear of intimacy. It's a fear of being intimate with somebody else. And you may not even connect that. But here's the thing. If you have been single for a long time, or if you've struggled with dating, there's an intimacy piece. These are intimacy issues. And I hear a lot of there's no emotionally available men out there. But really what this is that you haven't been emotionally available. There's a part of you that's holding back, that you're not even aware of. That's your blind spot, because if you've been in a relationship with somebody who's emotionally available, then I guarantee you that you've been emotionally unavailable as well. So you would have enabled that relationship to continue on and I'm sure you have great reasons. I did it, so I know I can relate to you. I'm sure you have. There was a reason why you stayed, for the children, or financially, or you're afraid to, go out back on your own. So I get that, I really do. But in holding back, you are not emotionally available to yourself, because you are abandoning yourself in that process. And so here's the thing that I really want you to hear. You have got to learn how to face your fears and walk through them. You have to learn how to push through, and you need a mentor to do that. And I want to be that mentor for you. And I think I am that mentor for you, for several of the women that I know that I am, that have already signed up for my Engaged at Any Age program that starts in September. And so here's the thing, the wonderful thing about learning how to push through your fear. You've got to put your feet to the fire with me long enough for you to get to the other side, so you can discover this incredible part of you that you didn't even know existed. What you're going to discover is that there's other aspect of you that gets developed when you're able to push through that and get to the other side. You're going to be like, wow, there's this whole side of me. And that's going to create all this passion and excitement. And you're going to see a result, because you stretched out of your comfort zone and you were able to achieve something that you weren't able to achieve before, because you had this big fear of rejection, or fear, all of these beliefs running. And in order to do that, in order to push through that, hold your feet to the fire and get to the other side, you really need support. You need a community of people to help you do that. Because if you'd already been successful, you wouldn't be here right now. And so I want to help you to discover where you're falling short, and push you through that gap. So you focus on where are the areas that I need to push through, so that I can develop those areas, those parts of me that aren't strong yet, so that I can become more whole. And so what happens, though, if you don't have any strategy, if you don't have structure, what happens is when you go off on your own, you end up falling short, because that's a very dangerous place to be, right? When you go off on your own, because willpower is non-existent in that space. There's no willpower, because you don't have anybody telling you what to do, pushing you through that fire to get to the other side, to discover how amazing you are, how strong you are, how powerful you are. Learning about, being vulnerable, learning about how to, for the alpha females watching this, how to be vulnerable and still be powerful. So if you don't learn to push through that and you go off on your own, that, like I said, a dangerous place to be because there's no willpower. You revert back to old behaviors. You don't make any progress. You become very discouraged. And that energy of discouragement is a very heavy energy. And that's what your signal you're sending out to men. And so it's so important to recognize that these fears, this fear of rejection, the fear of attracting emotional unavailable men, the fear of that there's no good men out there, all these rationalize that your mind tell you are actually the static that's causing you to not connect to the man that you want. So I'm going to tell you what I mean by static. When you're listening to the radio, and I know we don't really do that much anymore, but when you tune the dial and you can kind of hear the song coming through, but there's a little static there. So this is like this is your dream, but there's a little static. So the universe cannot deliver exactly what you want because it can't hear the message, because those fears are creating static. And so you're sitting there trying to tune it, but you can't send a clear message, so you're not getting the result you want, which causes you to have that heavy energy of discouragement, and you want to give up, and you feel like then the other rationalize that comes in is this. It's like, oh, I don't need a relationship to be happy. I'm good. But that's not true, because down deep, we all want love in our life, and we all want to get to the end of our life and say, I finally had that great love that I want. And so you have to look at what message you're sending out, how to get really clear, and the way to do that is to learn to stand in the fire so you can see what areas that you have resistance in, so you can grow in those areas and send a very clear signal. But it's a process, and you need guidance. You need somebody who has structure, who has a formula, and who will push you through so that you can have stealth. You need to develop more emotional muscle so that you can push these areas and see results so quickly. It's so exciting. And why I get excited, because when you do this, you see results so quickly, and you can move forward, and then you pick up all this momentum. And like I said earlier, you become very excited and very passionate about being online dating, about a man. And that is what men want to connect to, your passion, right? So so important. I hope that you are resonating with this video. You listen to it maybe once or twice, 3 times if you need to really connect to what I'm saying about pushing through the fear and recognizing that the fear is not what you think it is. You got to back up even further and really look at what's really going on. And it's fear of rejection. And it's fear of somebody seeing you, because we've made mistakes, right? We've had painful experiences, and we haven't really fully resolved those. So those left kind of a residual feeling of less than, not worthy, not good enough, and not really wanting to reveal that part of you to a man, because you don't want anybody to see it. So you're protecting. But in that protection, you are keeping the walls up around your heart so nobody can get in anyways. You can't get out and they can't get in. So you have to learn to lower that defense mechanism of fear. And it's all not real, but your mind is very powerful. It's all created in your mind. And it's hard to see it because it's so familiar, because you've been operating this way for so long that it's a blind spot. You really don't see it until you have talked to somebody like me or one of the coaches here in our group to make you more aware of it. As soon as you have awareness, healing accompanies awareness. Then you're in a position to really transform that energy, send a clear signal, get rid of the static, and boom, connect with your soulmate. It really happens that fast. Okay, that's how fast it happens. And I see it with my clients all the time. And so I know it. But you have to be willing to stand in the fire, put your feet to the fire, and push to the other side. If you can do that, you will have everything you want in life. And this translates beyond having a man. Your whole life will open up in ways that you didn't even realize were possible. So you need a mentor. You need the support of a community. You need the structure, strategy, and a formula so that you don't waste any more of your precious time. And I am starting my program in September, right after Labor Day. And ask yourself, what is my plan? Do I have a plan? Because the plan that you had before isn't working, or you wouldn't be here right now watching this video. And so I hope this inspires you to take a look at what I'm offering. And to reach out and book an appointment with me or one of the love coaches to talk about your fears and how you can work through them so that we can help push you through to this next level. And work with me this year so that I can take you through getting engaged at any age. It's a fabulous program. You'll be surrounded by empowered, like-minded women who have the same objective, and the synergy of the group moves you forward. And so what we'll be doing is transitioning out of this group into a much more smaller, intimate setting where we'll be working exclusively with those women that decide to go forward. And so I just wanted to let you know what was going on and talk to you about your fear. I hope this inspired you. Please put your comments in the box below so that I can create trainings around what's coming up for you. And the next training I'm going to do is on instant messaging. I'm going to show you a clever, and you probably, maybe you know it, but it's a really clever little way to create engagement online and get into a date within, a couple of days. And that's what you need. You need to date more, to practice, to see where your gaps are and see where your fears are so you can push through them. So it's a process, right? One step at a time, one day at a time. So I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thinking of all of you. Lots of love. Bye-bye.